It's now time for In the Lobby with High Latency with your host, Phenom Hype, Spirit Hunter 10, Kendra Noel, of course, everybody's favorite brothers, Army Strong and One Man Army, and our special co-host today, I Cause Stress. Hey everybody, welcome to In the Lobby with High Latency. This is, of course, everybody's favorite host, Phenom Hype, and of course, as always, I have some of my favorite people in the world, my co-host. First off, to no avail and no applause, the queen of tea and shade, Miss Kendra Noel. Kendra,
Hello.
how are we doing today?
Doing well. How are
Doing,
you?
living the dream as always. Our resident and expert waifu in anime, expert like I actually said expert, I meant to say expert now. Spirit, how are you?
I'm doing good, man.
Everybody's favorite brothers, Army Strong and One Man. Gentlemen, how are we? And everybody's favorite Californian, I Cause Stress. Stress, how are we doing tonight, man? Welcome back to the
I'm
show.
just I'm just chilling. How are you doing?
Oh, you know what? I am doing okay, doing okay. You guys ready to have a great episode today?
Yeah,
For sure.
get
Let's
it
go for it.
started.
All right, all right. As you all saw, we have some new graphics and new logos popping up through the show. Special thanks to Army. It's put in a couple hours of work, probably. Probably made him lose a couple hours of sleep, but
He doesn't
rocking on. Yeah, that's true. Actually, I heard Army one time stayed up for 36 hours to get to rank 1 with both accounts. I don't know if it's true or not, but
I
that's what
bore
I heard.
witness to that. Yep.
Ooh, Lord. Well, today's episode is going to be about money, so why don't we jump right into it? Free-to-play players versus pay-to-win players. So if you don't know what that means, it means free-to-play players are people who do not put a single cent into the game, as where pay-to-win players are people who are, as like Spirit like to say, call them whales, and just put a bunch of money into the game and try to get themselves better quicker than later. Spirit, I know this topic is very close to you, so lead us off today.
Oh my god.
F2P or pay to win? Talk to me.
Oh man. You know, it's fine if you use some money, but it's just sometimes when you just see these people who have just spent like hundreds of dollars on the game, it just hurts my soul, you know? Because if we're gonna talk about Warface, I'd say that sure, like maybe it's worth going ahead and using some money because the weapons that you get are very limited, and there's not really a bunch of top tier ones they give you for free. So you might need to, if you want to play competitively in the scene, spend some money. But you don't need to spend that much. And even then, it's like
seems
you're just
very
gonna buy the
personal.
MPX anyway. just why are you using all this money on other stuff you're not gonna bother using? It hurts me inside.
I agree.
Army Brothers, what do you think?
Since you think little money is okay, but I mean, like, doesn't that fall under pay to win? Like, any money you're one player type of?
I think it looks on
Yes.
the contrast of, I mean, yeah, but I guess there's certain levels of pay to win. There might be someone who only puts maybe like 10, 15, maybe $20 in the game, and there might be someone who puts 200
Yeah,
to
like you might
2,000.
be like a sardine, and then you got the people who spend like 100, and then there's whales. Then you got like the people who buy like everything that gets added into the game, the leviathans. We don't want to touch those. Legendary creatures.
Miss Kendra, what do you think?
I agree more with Spirit's point of view. Like I understand spending some money on the game, like if there's a gun you really want or something, but I think the people that buy every single gun that hits the shop or like all of the gold weapons, I think it's like a little overkill.
Stress? Oh, Army, actually, no, Army, go ahead. Army, go ahead.
I mean, I really think it depends on who, some games don't have a lot of a big pay to win aspect. Some games are already balanced.
Yeah.
Free to play games, they got the money somehow. So you go and you have to buy, and then if you are already in game, that kind of forces you into that pay to win aspect, kind of play. But really just
It shouldn't exist. Only cosmetics, in my opinion.
Stress, how are you? How do you feel about this?
I think pay to win sometimes has its advantages. For example, sometimes you have gamers who don't have maybe a lot of time to play, So rather someone who can sit at home all day and grind, do missions, whatever. Like, it, it's more beneficial for someone to have the same experience of a game, not having to grind it by maybe spending a little bit on that game. So I think
Right.
like, or sometimes people just really enjoy a game and like they want to like just collect everything in the game. Some people go after trophies, some people will go after the microtransactions. Me personally, like in Warface, I own every gold sniper, and it doesn't matter if it's like a trash sniper or not. I just like to have the collection of them. So, like I've
Oof.
bought every single gold one,
So Spirit,
and a
would
lot
he
of them I
was
get to
is
watch.
Stress a whale? If he owns every gold
I,
sniper, even if it's absolute trash, but he still buys it, do you consider him a whale?
I do think that's a bit whalish, but like at least he recognizes that the guns he's probably aren't going to use. You got these people that go ahead and they can't even differentiate this stuff. They're just spending it for the sake of spending it. Like like I kind of see his point also that people might want to spend because they don't have the time to spend on the game itself. So spending some money can like even the ground. But I feel like giving people access to shortcuts that you can buy instead, you're gonna get the people that do have the time to just grind this stuff out. That instead just don't want to and just want to pub stomp everybody before they grind their way there. Like I have money, screw the rules.
Well,
Like a good way to
oh,
treat it is to just to make it like thing. I was gonna say to make it like a different experience almost. Like don't make it overpowered. Just make it an option for players. Like you can spend money or you can not spend money. It will be a balanced experience.
well,
Yeah.
speaking of experiences, the next topic actually moving up is, does pay to win ruin games? I mean, but back in the day, let's look at PS1, PS2. You look at it, and they didn't really have any pay to win options. You had to grind, play hours or unlock certain achievements in the game to where you can unlock certain things now. But now it's you can go to an item shop or a store, you can buy a pack or a gun just right off the shelf, and you can overpower
Hmm.
now. So, with that being said, has pay to win ruined games?
I do think that it's changed the way that certain games are built up because sometimes, like, what was it? The Ghost Recon, was it Wildlands, the newest one that had come out? I feel like they made that game pay to win, and I feel like that was like the basis of the game was the shop, and that game is a perfect example of a game that was ruined because of pay to win. Because they want you to play the game, but then they put everything in the shop that you could just buy, like boosters if you don't want to spend as much time, or just straight up the weapons and equipment. It's like, why even bother making the game if you're gonna give people the options to not play it? Like, and people are sometimes stupid enough to fall for it. I don't understand. Why did you spend $60 on the game to spend another 60
Whoa, whoa,
so that
whoa,
you need to
whoa.
play the game for half the amount of time?
I feel like you're attacking me now on a couple of games that I bought, but okay. I feel like you're attacking me now.
Uh,
Kendra, what do you think?
Um, I wouldn't say it's necessarily like ruined it, but it's kind of made some things like less fun in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's
Warframe.
always going to be in games. I think in some games they overdo it and it's absolutely ridiculous.
Hmm.
But I mean, it's kind of like microtransactions on microtransactions, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's obnoxious. Like I used to hate when EA did that all the time. So I feel like
You say that like it's past tense.
Yeah.
I
Trust
mean, they
me.
still do
I
it.
I, I play
But
Madden 20, so I know about those
Oh
microtransactions.
no.
Stress, what about you? You think pay to win's ruined games?
um, maybe a little, but you kind of have to look at it from like the game developer's perspective. Like they're out to make money. That's their job. Especially when they
Hmm.
give a game out for free. How else are they gonna make money? This is like the primary way. So
Okay, you say that, but what about games, look like, Call of Duty, uh, Madden? They're $60 a pop. And then there's also microtransactions in that game. So how do you justify?
That definitely make it pay to win. Hmm.
I don't know. Like if you're, I think it's just an option that's there, and if you want to take it, you can take it.
Yes,
I don't know. It's just up to you.
Yeah.
So you
Army?
don't think that pay to win then stress ruins the games?
Nah, not really.
Army, what
Okay.
do you think?
It can be done,
Well,
right?
I think it's all about like the way the developers do it. Because
Yeah.
they can't just have it like cosmetic only because people buy it and then they literally just waste time on something that people aren't going to use. So then they gotta put all these guns and stuff in it so people price to buy it because people aren't just going to buy cosmetic. But I think it also can obviously run games. Look at freaking 2K and FIFA. The packs are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So packs in games like 2K are absolutely ridiculous, is what you're saying.
It's all about the kind of like the moderation that's used because yeah, I think we can agree to sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a little bit excessive.
Yeah,
It's all
no,
about walking that fine line.
it just depends. I guess if you have to look at it as in how do you view the game and what does the game mean to you? Because there's always gonna be people who say I'm an all
Value it
natural
more.
player. I don't believe in paying to win, and there are other people who are gonna be like I'm pay to win only, and you know what? I'm gonna be the best I can, and I'm gonna get a head start on you.
Yeah.
But moving on, this next topic is actually microtransactions. So that's actually a perfect segue. So as you know, microtransactions they can start from 99 cents all the way to I think like the most expensive one was like what 150 bucks. I think
Mm-hmm.
just whether you want to get like a single pack or if you want to get like a 10 pack or something like that, or you want to go on a shopping spree and buy like 4 or 5 guns that are in shop or on sale. But so these microtransactions, I know we just talked about this. You were talking about Stress said about the developer, releasing a free game, then
You gotta make that
then
money.
pay to win. But then of course, like we talked about the bigger titles, like like EA releasing, like Destiny, Call of Duty, Madden. Like I said, those games come out $60. And that's just for a standard edition. That's not even including if you like get the deluxe or like a legendary edition, which is gonna be more. And we'll get into that a little bit later. But the microtransactions, you're spending this money on this game just alone, and now you have to spend more money just to get certain items. Do you think that's really fair?
Yeah.
Spirit, what do you think?
Yeah, like microtransactions, like if they're limited to things that you can't necessarily get in game, then I feel like people find that to be unfair. Because then it feels like you're getting strong armed, into paying for something that you
Mm.
necessarily might want, but you don't want so much that you want to pay. But like if the microtransactions are just stuff that you can get in games, then I think that you can just suck it up,
Okay.
and just deal with it yourself. If you want to just go ahead and grind it, even though it's going to take a long time, you've got the option. It might not always be fun, but hey, you save yourself the money.
Stress, what do you think?
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Just the importance of microtransactions. As we were kind of talking about, what you were talking about, how some developers who put out a free game, they put out microtransactions so the game can make money. But then there's other games that are like Destiny, Call of Duty, Madden, who you already pay the money for, and then there's also microtransactions, to help boost yourself, get the boost to step up.
Yeah.
So how do you view microtransactions?
I don't know. I think they add variety to the game because I know a lot of people think microtransactions they think negative, but you can have like skins and cosmetics, and when you play a game for so long, if you're looking at the same thing, it tends to get stale. So when you
Mm.
have like cool skins or cool weapon transmutes, whatever, I think it adds variety and makes the game more enjoyable. So I think they're a good thing.
Miss Kendra, how much
I
money have you
think
put into the games?
depends which games.
Oh gosh.
No, I don't really like to spend money on games. But
So do you
I
think
don't know.
microtransactions are good or bad for games?
I think in some cases they're absolutely horrendous and they're literally just like gutting people for their money. And then other instances, like I get it, but I think there's a fine line, and I think most businesses cross it. They're
Hmm.
like, oh, I could put this. Like, I think it's fair if you give a game out and you put challenges, like Warface, for example, when we had Battle Pass and like you had to grind to get like the Blood and Fire Ooze con. Like that was legit because you had to put like a good amount of hours into that game in order to get it. And I think that's more of the route people should be going is like grind the game, do these challenges to get like a reward. instead of being like, hey, pay $25 and you can have this gold gun.
But you did have to buy premium, so that is a microtransaction.
True.
Yeah.
One man, talk to me, man. What's going on with these micros?
I mean, I think developers definitely know how they do it, but obviously they cross the line, you know, to make that extra dollar. Yeah, they definitely know how to think about it exactly. Because, you know, it's all about that developer and that player that developers don't want to waste their time or their use is um
Sorry. Army Strong, talk to me, man. What's going on? Talk to me, twin.
Well, I think it's like a lose-lose situation. Like you can't just have like just cosmetics because ain't nobody gonna really like mess with it. But
Right.
but the developers like so like they use like an alternative like they would add like cosmetics and guns, whatever, with special stats, so people be enticed to buy those. Just
Mm-hmm.
people want guns,
No.
really, more than cosmetics.
Well,
So at the very least to do like you should like have at least like an option to grind for the weapons that you can buy.
well, speaking of pay-to-win items and microtransactions, as you know, there are certain items that are disallowed in tournament play, but there are still some pay-to-win items that are allowed in tournament play. Now, I asked the question is, should any and all pay-to-win weapons or gear, armor sets, skins, should those be banned in tournaments?
I feel like
Mm,
if you were going to try to make it as fair as possible, that would be the best way. So that if you're trying to appeal to anybody who plays your game, then anybody could go ahead and, participate. They won't feel left out because if you allow for weapons that you had to pay for to be in tournaments, then it might skew some of the gameplay
Mm-hmm.
towards the people who have played or whatever with the pay to win weapons. It's not going to end up being fair is what I'm saying. If you want to level the playing field for everybody so that nobody complains, then it would be the best choice, but then you'd be kind of invalidating some of the choices that the people made because they paid for the gun. If they want to win and you can't let them win in the tournament for using the gun, you're not going to be able to satisfy everybody is the issue. You have to choose who you want to satisfy. And developers are like, well, this guy paid money, so we have to keep him happy.
Yeah. Okay. Kendra, what do you think?
Um, I don't know.
Nah.
I feel like I'm just gonna repeat myself. There's advantages and disadvantages. Like, why put it in the game if you can't use it for
Mm-hmm.
tournaments? But at the same time, like, there's people who use base weapons who will never buy a weapon who absolutely kill it. So, like, is it like a disadvantage to them? Yes. So, I mean, I get it why they don't allow them, but at the same time, it kind of like fucks people who've spent so much money on the game as well.
Okay.
yeah.
Accurate? Oh, no, excuse me. Accurate actually is coming in later today. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Stress.
I
How do you
feel
feel?
that if you are at the tournament level, that you should already be accustomed to all these pay-to-win weapons, like going against them in ranks, because it's not like everyone uses them already. Um, and yeah, it would also limit variety of the game, because if we're all running around with the same weapon, I don't know. I just felt like it would make the game a little bit stale.
So you would want
Objects.
pay-to-win weapons in a tournament.
Yeah, you should be accustomed to playing against them, and
I mean,
I
valid
don't know.
point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like
So.
yeah, all these
Yeah.
guns we complain about, it's not like we haven't seen them before.
Yeah. Army Strong. You've been in a couple tournaments. Talk to me.
yeah. I feel like there should be probably a balance between pay to win, not pay to win, like a certain amount of pay to win. Just again, I get tired of watching ban weapons. Like when I watch Call of Duty Championship, like everybody just run like like I want to see some variety, but at the same time, that's like that's pay to win.
So
But at the same
definitely, you want to see variety, not just the same 2-3 weapons over and over again.
yeah, some people that have pay to win, some
All right.
people
Well,
don't. So.
all right. One man.
Just
What do you think?
well, I think it just comes down like to balance. It's just balance. It just balance the pay to win weapons, and you can keep them in tournaments. Just balance them, like so they won't be like so you won't see too many of them, in tournaments if you do decide to enable them. You know, you still have the variety, and you know the weapons will be balanced, so it'll still be an entertaining match. In my opinion.
Right.
Well, everybody, it's time for everybody's segment, which is next, and that is the Queen's Tea and Shade. Kendra, we had a lot of tea and shade this week. We just had some earlier today.
Yeah.
We got a little background music in the back now. Ooh. Talk to us, Kendra.
Well, so going back to a little bit of what we talked about last week, more clans want to talk about doing clan wars, and then crickets, they're silent. It's like,
no.
Like no one, it's ridiculous. Like, how are you gonna talk all this smack and be like, yeah, let's do it, or, you know, say what you want about whoever in the clan, and then they go away, they disappear.
Oof. Well, you know, it's always easier. I mean, there's very few people in clans who will actually step up to the plate to say, hey, okay, let's run this. But a lot of the other people will say, oh, you know, they'll run their mouth, talk their trash. But Kendra,
Yeah.
I know that's not the big thing you want to talk about.
No, the big thing is actually Twitch and their rules against women, and their their clothing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, Twitch is made a rule, and I think Army sent me the link, or at least sent me the brief detail on it, where it was girls can show cleavage, but they can't show underboob. I think is that correct, Army?
Yes.
That is correct. Okay, thank you, Army. So,
He's very well versed in that.
So here's my question to you, Kendra: is as a girl who stream now, you don't do you do live stream, but you don't show your face. But saying hypothetically, if you did want to live stream and show your face, your body, do you feel like you are being oppressed because you cannot wear what you want to wear? Like, say if you wanted to wear a sexy outfit, and you thought, hey, I look great, I look sexy, but you can't wear it because Twitch says that's wrong, that's no, you will get banned. Do you feel oppressed?
No. Because, I mean, it depends. If it's just under boob, no. I mean, okay, well, I have TMI, but under boob was probably not working for me, because when you have bigger boobs, that shit really doesn't fly. But for the girls that, like, I think try it, like, it's so easily to have a nip slip that I understand why Twitch is like, probably not. And especially, like, you know, there's some people out there that are like, oh, let me, like, accidentally, like, lift my arm up too high, you know, and then, like, they get an extra donation.
I feel like if I was a girl, I would probably be notorious for that.
No.
Maybe if I live stream, I'll have a nip slip and we'll see what happens.
Oh no!
So can you refund me $10,000?
You gotta warn me when that happens, man. We can't be having any of that here.
No, definitely not. I don't know. It still might be kind of fun to do once in a while, just to go like, hey guys. No, definitely not.
I mean, like, I think sexy outfits should be allowed, and, like, cleavage, like, if whatever, that's, you know. So girls with big boobs, like, if you're just wearing a shirt, you're not even trying to show cleavage, it just happens.
So then let me ask you something, Kendra. Let's play devil's advocate. Let's switch the tables. If a guy said he wanted to stream, say, shirtless and wear nothing but crotchless underwear, would that be okay for you?
I don't think so.
That escalated quickly.
Think about that. Think about that, though. Think about it. If a girl
You said
cannot,
crotchless underwear?
I did.
Yeah, I'm like, are you just his all of his things
Or if saying
hanging out?
Or saying what if he's wearing like really tight like underwear and you could see his bulge? Do you think that's fair, or do you think that should be banned as well?
I mean,
I would
can't
say
girls
that having,
wear like really
no
tight booty
shirt
shorts?
with like a guy would be fine, but I'm pretty sure that they don't allow that for whatever
I mean, but then
reason
you
on
could
Twitch.
also do the whole movement of like free the nip, you know, like if guys can show them, can't girls?
Yeah,
you know,
free,
like
free the
there's
wiener.
people that are like that are gonna like come at you with that. So I think bottom line is you can't please everybody, and I think they're just trying to protect the people. Because I mean, if I had a son and he's watching like a hot girl on Twitch, like I don't want her to have a nip slip. Sorry, I don't. Like,
I'm sorry, but I would want her to. At that point, he might as well just go to Pornhub.
Well,
yeah.
oh
Yeah,
god,
quit oppressing us, Kendra.
oh god. Well,
Kendra doesn't want us to succeed.
speaking
Get a girlfriend,
of,
look at
oh
her.
wow, shots fired by Kendra. But speaking of which, our next guest needs no protection whatsoever. He is known as the
my.
MPX God in the Warface community. He's, well, high latency is to other people in the Warface community. He's probably known as a lot worse things. Please welcome Akcurate. Akcurate joining the lobby with us. How are you doing today, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm glad to be here. How's everyone?
So, Akcurate, you're actually going to be with us back-to-back weeks. We have you on this week just to interview, kind of get yourself introduced, and then next week you're coming on for our political episode to debate Raptor Elite.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
Are you
I
excited?
just want to say a little bit of something on the last statement, though. I think girls should be able to show some underboob because I would love to be able to show some underbag.
Oh, yes.
Oh, what?
Yes, leave it to Akcurate to say, I would like to do this just so I can show some underbag. Yes. Now, let me ask you something, Akcurate. Will you be doing your patent slow rise if this happens?
Oh, yes, that is why the underbag will be out.
So, Akcurate, you are very well known in the Warface, PS4 Warface community. You know, you're an great, one of the better top echelon engineers in the game. You know, MPX is your baby. But, you know, you do have a lot of people who say you're not that good without it. What do you say to those people?
I mean, Kanye makes good music, but lots of people hate him. It's the same thing. Lots of people hate successful people.
So you're
And
comparing yourself to Kanye West. You're,
Yes,
you're
I consider myself, like Kanye West is highly successful in music, I consider myself highly successful in Warface, and that's going to attract some haters.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, I've seen you use other weapons besides the MPX, and you slaughter people even without the MPX. But I think the MPX just has such a negative connotation, and for some players, it's a crutch because without that gun, they would not be half as good as they are. But I have seen you
Yeah.
personally use other guns, and you absolutely kill it.
Yeah, there's two things on that. Number one, I kind of enjoy the controversy. I like making people mad to a degree. And the second part is no matter what the meta is, I'm just going to play to the meta, and people just have to deal with that. If they don't need an MPX, then that's fine. It's not a crutch for them. It shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be something to complain about. If they don't need it, it's not a crutch.
Well, speaking of people getting mad, you actually had a recent I don't want to say altercation, but a little back and forth with actually White a couple
Yeah.
days ago. What kind of stemmed that?
Oh, the same thing that makes him mad. We beat him in ranked. To him, it's a dead game. It's stupid. He doesn't care about clans, but he cares when he cares a lot when he loses in this dead game, and he doesn't care about clans. But let me spend a good hour talking about high latency. He's just a hypocrite. He's just mad. He doesn't think straight when he's mad, obviously, and he says some stupid things. Like he was like, "Oh, look at the team I had. Look at the team I had." And I was like, "So are you saying your boys are trash?" And he's like, "Yeah, my boys are trash." It's like, well, damn, bro.
All right.
It's
Remember,
time
if
for your
your friends are actually white, you probably actually trash, and you didn't even realize it.
No, you know I won't say because
Ooh.
because I've played with actually White. I've played against him numerous times, and you know he's a good player. I will say that he is a good player, but you know I think having good teammates also does help kind of elevate your game and play style too. Because if you have people who you know you can play with, you can trust, it makes a difference compared to playing people who don't know what they're doing. So I mean, I will give him the benefit of the doubt on that, but I think to go out of your way, I mean, we all kind of know actually why as I'll say, the purist of the game always have a thing against high latency. As you know, I saw Matt Avenue posted in the chat about his thesis about our montage videos and how we have no thumbs. But you know, I don't understand that theory of people having no thumbs because the reason why I say that is your thumbs are for your L2 and R1, or not L2 R1, but your joysticks. Excuse me. So I don't get that thesis at all. But Akcurate, coming to you, what is something that you would say is a big misconception about you?
That he's a
The
good
biggest
guy?
misconception is that I can only use the MPX. I can't use any other gun. But hey, I use them sometimes. I still beat people. I do just as good.
All right.
But like I said, I play to the meta.
Play to the meta. Now, on this episode of High Latency in the lobby with High Latency, we are talking about money issues in gaming. So, we all know that you've spent some money, on the MPX. How do you feel about transactions in gaming?
Man, I'm for them because I find a lot of times pay to win games separate the casuals from the actual dedicated players, and I think if you're one of those free-to-play players and you're always complaining, it's a free-to-play game. If you can't put $10 to $20 into the game, then that's on you. You can't really complain about the people who did. I mean, I'm broke as hell right now. I don't even have a job, and I don't think it's an issue. I really don't. I mean, when the new guns come out and I'm gonna buy them, I'm still gonna buy them. I mean, it's like $10-20. If you can't shell that out for a free to play game, then that's a personal issue. That's not an issue with the system itself.
Please don't tell me you're about to plug a GoFundMe with your link next. Please don't tell me you're about to do that, Akcurate.
No, sir, no.
He doesn't need to put a GoFundMe. He already has the MPX.
Facts.
They come out with a new version of the MPX, instantly you're gonna see that GoFundMe go up. Guys, help me out.
I have a GoFundMe, a Patreon, and OnlyFans. I'll have it all, bro.
Oh my!
I'm once again
God.
calling for your donations.
Yeah, get that fucking underbag working.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! So, Akcurate, if you were not playing Warface, what games would you be playing right now?
He wouldn't be playing anything.
That's a good question. Probably not. If anything, I probably would have bought the new Call of Duty and been playing that.
The new Call of Duty?
When it comes to console, it's all about the first-person shooters for me. There's no good strategy games or anything like that on console.
Right.
Well, what would you define as a good strategy game? Like, what was the last good strategy game you saw?
The last good strategy game I played, I haven't had a PC in a while, would have been Supreme Ruler 2020, but there's lots of good strategy games. I'm talking like grand strategy games like Hearts of Iron 4, Europa Universalis, those types of games.
Oh, wow. So you are a true strategist. Speaking of, Army is somewhat of a strategist of our clan as well. So what would you say, who do you think would be the better strategist, you or Army?
When it comes to those games, I would say me, just because I have lots of experience with them. I know how they work. I know what to do in those types of games. But when it comes to Warface, Army has some excellent strategies, and I always tell him, like, if you're seeing something I'm not, definitely supersede me. Go ahead and tell the team what to do.
Aw, hear that, Army?
He's like, but usually I have the MPX, so his opinion is invalid.
So, Akcurate, we touched a little bit about this earlier, but like I said, you are coming on next week for the big political debate. On a scale from 1 to 10, how ready are you?
Oh, at 10, I'm fully ready. I'm ready to go. All I need to know is the topic, so I can do a bit of homework, grab my numbers, and I'm ready to go in.
So you are ready to go. So you are ready to take on Raptor Elite no matter what.
Yep, I've been there before many times. I am fully prepared for it.
I'm super excited to hear it, honestly. I cannot wait.
You just better make sure he's got himself so that everybody can hear him this time.
The popcorn will be ready.
Yeah. No,
we can't have a debate between Akcurate and the air.
that was definitely like PS4 and their update doing.
Yeah. Well, Akcurate, we want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast of In the Lobby. Greatly appreciate it, and we cannot wait to see you next week. All right, my good sir. Do you have any final thoughts or anything you want to say to anybody?
Do I have any final thoughts?
Do a shout out.
No, just glad to be here, and I'm excited to be coming back on next week.
Well, we greatly appreciate it, my good sir. Thank you so much.
And thank you.
Right.
Catch you in ranked later, Akcurate.
Go join that clan war going on.
Special thanks once again to Akcurate for coming on. But now, next topic is, are chance boxes considered gambling?
Well, it depends. You know, because
No, they
some
are.
of them.
They are.
Oh, well, here we go. Here we go. I love this already because Army's like, oh, it depends. Stress like, no, they are. Let me tell you. So let me give more parameters on it. So, gambling is considered a game of chance and luck. There's no guarantee into it. And I think
Correct.
that's just considered gambling 101. But with gaming, you put a certain amount of money in. There's chance boxes. Perfect example is Warface with the boxes. You could win, say, a DP12 Enfield or Sig and BX, or you could win a Keltec shotgun, or a Bowie knife,
For
or
1
even
hour.
a player skin for 1 hour. So,
Yeah, you get those
Army,
anime personnel
Army,
mines.
I'm gonna ask you this because you said it depends. So talk to me, Army. What does it depend on?
Well, like some boxes can like be like at like login bonuses or daily rewards or like some challenges and like you gotta like
No, I'm not talking about the ones that you spend money on. Like, so we're going back to the microtransactions here. So if I spend $5 and I get 10 boxes, and they say I have a chance to get a permanent weapon, say Warface, say I get a have a chance to get a permanent gold weapon. Is that gambling?
I mean, it's not gambling, but no defending it because the way it's used is gambling, and the way they implement it is gambling. It's like you could defend the fact that it can't be gambling, but the way it's presented and the way people use it is gambling. Just to
Right.
against it to defend it.
yeah. And to be fair, they did tell you had like a 10% chance, so you know to win.
You've
I'm
been
pretty sure.
warned.
I'm pretty sure I've gotten those odds playing blackjack before at a casino. So, Kendra, what do you think? Do you think chance boxes are gambling?
I think the addiction of trying to get like the ultimate weapon could be like gambling. Like you could associate the same things together because, be like, oh, like let me just spend $5, and see what I get. And then like when you don't get it, you're like, oh, just another $5. Next
Just
thing you
another.
spent like $30 and like you either get it or you still haven't got it and then like it's kind of gambling.
Stress.
Yeah.
What do you think? Talk to me.
It totally is. You're giving them money, and sometimes they give you completely nothing in return. Um,
Preach.
yeah, it's like I've played games like Neverwinter. I've spent,
Oh
you guys are saying
no.
hundreds. I've spent like thousands on that game.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine spending
I,
$1,000 on a bag of Beagles. Ooh.
I
Oh.
I played for 7 years that game.
Oh wow.
Legendary mount pack. Come on, baby.
Yeah, there's mount packs in that game, pretty much. And there's legendary ones. You only have like I think like less than 1% chance of getting it, and
Yep.
Ooh.
I'd be on there every payday, popping
Every payday.
boxes,
Oh, that kind of reminds me of a
and
certain feat on hype.
I had almost all the
Oh, you taking a shot at me, young man?
No, keep going, Stress. Keep going. My bad.
but yeah, it's totally gambling.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
Still
So
that
I'm
addiction, man. I
exactly
like
with
it.
stress on it. It's gambling. Like it is. I feel like people they like to split hairs and be like, no, technically it's not gambling, but no, that is definitely gambling. Because the way that they want to define gambling is that you're paying something for a chance to get something, but you're not always getting something. And then the way they do it, like what Warface will say, is like, even though you don't get what you want, you technically get something. Even if it's the most absolute bare minimum garbage of like 3 smoke grenades, a skin, and a gun for an hour, you technically got something. So they're like, technically it's not gambling because you did get something. But the stuff goes away, and then you're left with nothing. It's straight up gambling is what it is at that point.
well, I have another topic we're gonna talk about, but we're gonna actually jump back to microtransactions, more about pre-orders of games. So this is kind of an interesting thing with pre-orders. Are pre-orders really worth it now? I mean, now they say, oh, if you pre-order today, you get like maybe a new legendary gun, or you might get 1 or 2 custom outfits, but you're still paying the same price. And there are some, editions where it has like, then they have the regular deluxe legendary where you get a couple of cool stuff and maybe, some cool knickknacks, maybe a study guide or anything like that. But I mean, are pre-orders still really worth it? I mean, is there a reason why I should spend an extra 10, 15, $20 on a game that I'm already going to pay money for, but do I really think it's necessary to buy a pre-order so I can get like a collectible bobblehead?
But you're not. But pre-orders. What kind of pre-orders are you talking about? Like pre-orders is just you putting down a little bit of money ahead of time, but you're not going to be paying more for the game.
No. But what I mean by it is like some games give like special.
Yeah, pre-order bonuses, but you're making it sound like you're paying more for the pre-order bonuses and they suck worse than they do. Like you're still paying the same price you would back then. You're still paying the same price as you would if you're not pre-ordering. It's just they're trying to get a guarantee on your purchase, and if you put down to $5 ahead of time, you're gonna feel more compelled to go ahead and finish the transaction and give the rest of the money instead of waiting and being a smart person waiting for reviews and stuff. Is it worth it? I don't really think so nowadays. Most of the time, it's just like you said, like a couple of knickknacks, some like cosmetic stuff that you could live without. But if you really want it, knock yourself out. You're not paying extra.
Sometimes it could definitely be because some games it should be a fun option, but some games they push it.
Mm-hmm.
If you pre-order $5, you could copy if allow. Oh, and then you also get this character that no one else will have.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Weird for Tekken. This character about Liza, like she was really broken.
Stupid.
It was stupid. You pre-ordered her, and
she was fucking broke.
And people couldn't practice how to beat her because have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kendra, what do you think? Pre-orders? You still buying?
I think if they do, what is it called when they give you like that free weekend?
The free weekend. So if they say, hey, if you pre-order, you get like a couple days ahead, or you get a week ahead.
Or like if you like try it out, and then you can pre-order. Like if they give you like a little weekend to test.
Yeah. Oh, like a beta kind of?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm looking for.
So if it's a beta,
and you like it, and then you can pre-order from there, I think that's legit.
Legit. Okay.
Yeah, because it helps you formulate your opinion right there. Like,
yeah,
you're not putting blind faith in the developers because let me say you shouldn't have any of that nowadays.
Okay, well let's I'm gonna do a rapid fire section real quick. Pre-orders. So because there are some games that are on all gaming systems, Xbox, PS4, PC.
Right.
But the problem is that if you pre-order, you only get specific items. So do you think that's crap, or you think it's fair? Spirit?
I mean, if you're only getting specific items, then I think it's fair because then everybody is gonna only get those specific items.
Okay, like, Army, what do you think?
It gives people also equal opportunity. Like, if you want to pre-order to get the items, anybody can pre-order. Like I said, it doesn't cost you extra.
No. But what I meant by that question is like, so PS4 is gonna have a certain things on their pre-order. Xbox is gonna have certain things on their pre-order. PC is gonna have certain things
across the platforms.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison. Yeah. Army, what do you think?
Yeah, like.
Depends on what the item is. If it's some broken character.
If it's a character or a gun, that's costing a lot. But if it's like a skin or a gun or a character, then like if the $5 for it, then it's really whatever. You can live without it.
All right. Well, we're gonna move to everybody's favorite topic now. It's time for the bag of Beagles, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Stress? What's pissing you off this week? What company has made you mad, or what person has made you mad?
Starbucks.
Like, that's shocking coming from you, like Starbucks king over here.
I think he's mad because his Starbucks is closed.
Yeah, they're all closed in the city.
I feel like tomorrow and just the rest of the week I'm going to go to Starbucks and just take a picture and just tag you on it purposefully. Just to spite. Yes, I think I will do that this weekend. Kendra, I know you had the tea and shade earlier, but what's pissing you off, girl? No makeup, no going to MAC, no going to Sephora. What's going on? Talk to me.
order online, and to be honest, I like stocked up on some things before, it got really bad. So, yay.
Yeah.
Who's making me mad this week? I don't know. Maybe it's just the world being stupid, people trying to open up everything, and there's still people in hospitals that are dying.
Okay.
Kind of obnoxious.
Okay.
Hey man, my money supersedes your health.
Yes, Spirit.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Oh god, let's see what's going
Besides
on.
not spending $100 on Arknights, what's going on?
Oh god, Arknights, why? Yeah, let's go ahead and I'm gonna throw Arknights under the bus. Why is it that they're gonna be coming out with their contingency contract at the end of June? We're gonna be getting the hardest event in the game 2 months faster than China got it. Are you kidding me? I could use those 2 months to prepare for this. We don't need the content to be coming this fast. Ignore the whales. Screw Tectone.
See, I'm offended
all these
by
people
that.
saying that they're dry on content. You want to know why they're dry on content? Because they're using money to speed things up when they don't need to. If they were to just let it go through time naturally, they wouldn't be so bored with the game already.
Army Brothers, I know you got a new PS4, so I know you're happy about that. But what's making you mad this week?
That microphone.
Ooh. The shade. Where's my shade button when I need it?
It's funny because it actually has nothing to do with my PS4. It has to do with stupid people like Spirit.
Oh!
I'm sorry, you're gonna have to say that again. Nobody could hear you say it.
I heard it. Basically, you said my
Anybody
microphone
else
is.
like some tea?
Yeah. I'll take a green.
May 1st, the coronavirus, people are just gonna go out. Like, oh, finally I can go outside, and they're gonna get sick.
I definitely feel there's definitely gonna be a second wave. I really do. I
Yeah, if they start
really
letting
do.
everyone go out and open everything and do whatever they want to do, they're like, oh, we're gonna keep bars closed. Great. Like
That makes me mad. How are you gonna open up a massage parlors and tattoo parlors, but you're not gonna open up a bar?
But
Damn it.
they're opening up like coffee places, gyms, like all that kind of stuff. Like what is the difference? Because like at a gym you're gonna get all sweaty. You're gonna be around a ton of people. It's the same thing at bars.
Yeah, that sounds worse than just going to a bar, to be honest.
Right? Like at least, you try to be like a little clean.
So I
Well, I guess
wanted
you're
to.
clean at a gym too, but
I don't know. Have you seen some people at the gym? It's questionable. No, but one thing I did want to kind of touch back on is I did want to kind of go back to the gambling. Do gamers become gamblers? Now I know that sounds kind of a weird topic though, but when you think about it, especially now within quarantine, people are kind of bored, so they're gonna explore certain games, and with microtransactions and everything. Do gamers, do they become gamblers because they get that thrill, that edge? They kind of get that rush.
Edge. Yes.
No, I'm serious though, because there are times, and I know as a gambler and a gamer as myself, there are times where, I kind of get that, that adrenaline boost or high, when I am gambling, and I kind of feel that sometimes with gaming too. So when I am doing microtransactions with like Arc Knights, and I'm spending, like say $20-$30, and shut up. But like when I'm opening like a 10 bag, and I'm kind of getting that rush, like, oh my gosh, please let it be a 6-star, let it be a 6-star. I kind of get that rush.
Yeah. I didn't get to say it earlier, but I do think that loot boxes and anything that's got like chances like that definitely leads to addiction and actual gambling, because it stimulates the exact same response that you would get from normal gambling. They go ahead and they give you promises of you might get something. They got like flashing lights to get you excited, and you think you're gonna get something, then you get screwed. And like Kendra said earlier, then I'll just spend just a little bit more, and the next thing you know, you just go and you keep spending. You don't realize it. It's just a game. You're thinking, I might as well, but you don't realize that you are kind of throwing away your money at times. And once you go ahead and justify the purchase once, I think that you're gonna be way more likely to go ahead and do it again, and not necessarily just in the same game, Then you get into another game you like, you could justify, oh, I did it in this other game that I played, why won't I do it in this game? I plan on, playing it as much, if not more. So, it definitely, I think, is leading down the same road there.
I feel attacked.
and and if you guys don't know, it's because earlier Stress said that he buys all the snipers, and generally in this game, when the new snipers come out, they don't just throw the gold in the shop so you can buy it. They throw the new one, the basic, and then they put the gold one in the box. So you're gonna catch Stress gambling on that day when they put the new sniper rifle in the shop.
Facts.
Kendrra?
He's like, I can't even defend myself.
The queen of tea and shade. How do you feel? You think gamers become gamblers?
I think it definitely can lead to that for sure. I mean, I wouldn't say all because like I'm not a gambler. I don't like to gamble. I like to know my chances. But I don't like to chance things. Anyways. I don't know. I think it's a 50-50. I think if that's just like in your nature and you enjoy gambling and you game, then like sure, it could definitely worsen your problem.
I think it's like crack.
You think it? You think? Wow, like crack.
Try it a few times and you're hooked.
Wow.
I sound like such a mom.
I've gambled for many years, and not once have I said, you know what, I'm doing gambling. I'm gonna do some crack now.
Like crack.
This is what supposed to be what crack is like. But actually, I do think Army does have a point though, because I think people do kind of get that addicted sense, and you do hear people all the time say they're addicted to gambling, and you see them just throw away their life savings and every single thing they've ever worked for or saved.
So sad.
So I do think Army does have somewhat of a point there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more so like who you are as a person, because I'm a very good person. I want to make everything count. I don't want to, well, y'all say y'all get high from gambling and stuff. I get pretty excited. I don't know.
Well, Army's never had a $1,000 bet in front of him, so that's. No, but I mean, I think when it comes down to it, I really do think it comes down to self-control and knowing when to walk away. I think that's really the biggest thing for it.
Oh my gosh.
That's self-control, man. It's invaluable, but it's really hard when your friend is a whale right next to you.
That sounds awesome.
Are you shooting that at me, or are you shooting that at Stress? Who are you shooting that at? Are you shooting at both of us?
I don't know. You can take that however you want.
Get nated, bitch. That's right.
I feel a little attacked by it. I don't know how you feel about that, Stress, but I felt a little attacked when you said that.
Me as well.
Right?
Can I just say, if you camp on a map with a crazy horse, you're not good.
No.
And you
going
should
back
stop
to Teen
trying.
Shade.
Going back to the Teen Shade. Well, she is the queen. She is the queen, so you would expect.
I'm just playing
People
TDM.
who use the crazy horse are not good.
No, okay. If they camp, like I am being personally attacked right now by a sniper who's literally camping in every corner with a crazy horse, just spamming it at my spawn.
Just
Spirit.
hold up a sign that says "Not me." Not me too.
Spirit, what is the anime selection of the weekend?
Okay, today I don't have an anime selection. I have an anime not selection of the week.
Oh.
Unless you're a masochist,
Come
then I've
through
got
more
the
shade.
perfect show for you if you're a masochist. Go watch Seven Deadly Sins season 3.
No.
I've said this many a times to everybody that I talked to when I was watching it. It's like you stay hopeful because the prior seasons weren't that bad, but every week it just tricks you and you're getting waterboarded. It's just terrible. You keep your hopes up, and then the next thing you know, you're drowning. Do not watch it. And I don't know how, with it being that bad, they already confirmed season 4. I mean, I guess the bar can't get any lower than that, right?
You never know. The bar can always be lowered to new depths. You just never know.
Dude,
Big facts.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm stupid, so I might give it a watch, even though I didn't finish season 3, just to see if it's just as bad.
I would put odds that you'll probably at least watch 3 episodes of it. I will put those odds on it.
3-episode rule, yep.
Stress, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off this week?
Legalize it.
It's already legal in California, sir.
I'm talking about the other states, alright?
No.
I agree. It's better for you than alcohol.
I will argue that point.
Well, I don't think that your liver will agree with you.
I take great care of my liver.
Ooh, the shade.
I don't know. I'd rather me personally. I'm more of an alcohol guy than a weed guy. I just love alcohol. Can just make me feel wonderful. And alcohol is much cheaper than marijuana, so that's a price cost difference on that as well.
It's okay. They already have loot boxes as being illegal, so just do that instead. That's the best. Hey guys, scratching this out. You gotta get those loot boxes.
If they, I swear, if
alcohol in loot boxes.
Oh,
that would be good. Now that I would buy those. You know, I'd be scared if they start putting loot boxes in Arknights. Either get a Beagle
in there?
or X2. That would be fun. Either get a bottle of 1942 or get a bottle of Jose Cuervo Gold. One retails for $130. One retails for $20. Ooh.
Now you're just gonna get one bottle of Corona and that's it.
There you go. Army brothers. Before we sign off, what do we have to say?
Hey, Kendra, said about that. You said he was camping with the crazy horse.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, just let me know. As you know, I'm part of the CIA. You know, Camper Intelligence Agency.
I mean, you know, just hop on Warface, Storm TDM, you get him.
And everybody like to, you know, don't worry, you can become part of the CIA too. It's like I always say.
Oh God.
Who needs bully hunters when we have the CIA? Am I right?
Right? Wait, who needs bully hunters or CIA when we have Army? Army will just go after them.
Yeah.
Army will write a long, detailed, angry letter.
Oh no, he's gonna bore them to death.
My final words is, you know, I wouldn't advise anybody to go outside like on the 31st. You know.
You know what? That's probably. I feel that's very smart. I feel like the people who are gonna go outside will probably get the second wave, and the people who waited to go outside an extra couple weeks, I think they'll be fine.
Right.
Miss Kendra, do you want to give us the vibe of the week?
Say what you mean what you say. Don't be an asshole.
I feel like you're directing that towards somebody, not sure who. It might be that guy from. It might be from that guy from Instagram that was today. That might be where that's going.
Maybe. Just saying. Like,
or Spirit.
Shut up or shut up, man.
You could be saying that's Spirit, so I don't know.
I don't want to come for Spirit. He's been coming for everyone lately. Last week he came for me really hard.
To say to me this time.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'm cool with you, Spirit. Like, let's just.
We cool, right? Hold up. I'm about to end this woman's whole career right
now. Oh no.
I would like to see you try, but
right,
let's not this week.
Alright, well, you guys, for Icon Stress, the Army Bros, Spirit Hunter, the Queen of Teen State, Kendra, this is Phenom Hype. Thank you all so much. You have a great week, and we will see you next week. Better luck next time.
That's the...
Oh, God.